What's up? What's up? Hold up. Let's see. Hey, what is up, everybody? What is up? Um, just waiting for some people to drop in. All right. Well, right now I'm not going to be on too long, but I'll be on much more often in the coming future, real soon. But right now, first off, before I get into it, if you don't know who I am Barry Gaines, the chairman and CEO of a new nonprofit organization called GainesCon Media Incorporated. It's geared to the aspiring action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror filmmaker in underserved communities and beyond. So not just them, of course, is the main thing for our cause, but it's also for filmmakers all around the world. This is an international film festival that just caters to like I said before, the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror film genre and filmmakers, of course. So I just want to tell you a little bit about what's going on. We have been officially certified as a 501c3 tax exemption about 3 weeks ago. Hold on, something just popped in unexpectedly. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that kind of threw me off there. Something just popped up and whatnot. I'm like, oh. But so yeah, so let me get back into it. So let's start over again. Just got a little distracted. Someone popped on my screen. I was like, what the? But I figured it out. So anyway, again, I am Barry Gaines, the chairman and CEO of GainesCon Media Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization stationed in Las Vegas for the aspiring filmmaker whose interest lies within the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre. And this is geared to the underserved communities. We want to provide programs to communities that otherwise don't have the funding to educate people who are interested in being a filmmaker within these genres. I mean, this is what we're all about. We want to provide a space. We want to provide an avenue for filmmakers and other creators as well, who's geared to that genre, and an opportunity to learn about the genre, build their skill set, and be taught by some of the best in the industry. That is what we are geared to do. This is what we are trying to build right now. In fact, no, we're not trying to build. We will be building it. It is being built as we speak. But it does take this cooperation for many people, and those people can be you. All right. So let me get into what we are trying to do right now. So if anyone has been following me in the past, I always pop on and talk about, indie film news or indie film ideas or my take in actually doing movies and such and so forth, especially when it comes down to the indie action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre. But right now, I want to kind of get into what GainesCon is doing right now to get to that point where we can provide the space for those artists are interested or does have that type of work, and just like it to be shown and try to get some more publicity and trying to get some more eyes on their work. Well, GainesCon is going to support that. GainesCon will provide that space. So as I mentioned, it's for filmmakers, right? Aspiring filmmakers, really indie filmmakers, to get into it and to learn more about the craft. And what we're doing right now to get into that again is that we're trying to raise money. Right now, we're trying to kind of get to a point where we have enough funds where we can actually start these programs and start these programs right now in Las Vegas, where we can open up a space where people can be taught by some of the best in the industry, and that ranges from many sectors within the genre. Now, understand, all because it's action, sci-fi, fantasy, it's not all about fun. Yes, of course, it's great to look at, it's entertaining, it's great, and us as creators love it, because this is what we do, and what we just fuel on. But it's a lot of things that goes on in the background to make this happen, to entertain the masses, to get our art across. And GainesCon is going to provide these sectors and areas where you can learn from, learn about different places, different sectors within these fields. For one, let's say stuntmen, stunt women, right? Well, you need those, right? Because action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, we have a lot of stunt work to be done, right? Well, what happens if you're someone who wants to be a stunt woman, who wants to be a stunt man? Where do you start? What do you do? What do you have to be concerned with? What kind of insurance do I have, or do I need to have before even going out trying to get a job? What kind of experience do they want? Is there a license that I need to get? Like, these are all the questions that GainesCon will provide by attaining industry professionals, stunt professionals, to give you the education and give you the background of what it needs for you to pursue that career. This also goes for visual effects artists. I have companies like Wild Effects. It's a good friend of mine, Prakash Kamarajan. He has a company where he is going to be able to sit down with people in a class and go over all of what's going on with the visual effects world, how you can compete with AI, how do you get AI to work with you, what are the trends when it comes to visual effects, what are the softwares that's required for you to even get maybe a job that's actually worth anything. It's a lot of little things like that. There are other spaces as well. Say, for example, you want to be, say you're I don't know, say you're a family member. Say yourself, you are maybe a first responder. Well, first responders are needed in these films, because the films, it's a lot of subject matter is all about what? Excitement. It's about running. It's about getting to places fast, world building. Well, we want things to be as authentic as you possibly can be, actions to be as authentic as it can be, so people can really kind of get into your story, even if your story takes place in some made-up world or some kind of unknown land. At least there are going to be components within the story and within the use of these characters that you will be familiar with the use and the help of real professionals who are the engineers behind these actions. People who are professionally trained. They could be engineers too. Yeah, I said engineers. That's right. Engineers are part of this too. You want to get into engineers, they are too. So, who's going to say what about being a pyrotechnic technician? What about a DIT technician? What about someone who takes let's see, the wiring? Who does the wiring? Where the actors have to strap on and act like they're flying, and who's doing the pulling in? I mean, how do you get into that? What type of rope? I mean, what type of cable do they use? Do you need what kind of license do I need? Well, what kind of train do I need if I want to maybe have a company that provides that service for movies, for films? So these are definitely a lot of the classes that GainesCon will provide, and that we're looking for. And we can only do this with your help, guys. With you being on board, starting with us from the ground up, we can provide a space that a lot of places don't. I haven't really seen a film festival to provide this much support. I see a lot of film festivals that we get artists and we get industry professionals just to talk, and then they move on and no one goes with them. Well, GainesCon is going to be a place where we're going to try our best and we're going to make it part of our function, that when we have a workshop and when we have classes, those teachers are not just there to teach you, but to also guide you in how you can further your career. Maybe give you access, to some place that you otherwise won't have unless you came to our class. They're going to survive. They're going to give you chances to get on the road that you need to fulfill that dream, to fulfill that, to build that talent that you already have. You just sometimes need it built, need it stronger, need someone, need a little guidance. We all do. I do. I'm a filmmaker, okay? I understand what it takes. As filmmakers, as artists, just as artists in general, we never stop learning. That's what's so great about our industry. We constantly learn. Why? Because the world constantly changes and we got to change with it, and we just keep rolling with it. And with this change, it comes with support. And you're trying to find people who to support you, trying to help people. And we are a big supporter of the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre. And when it comes down to aspiring filmmakers and other type of creators, such as comic book writers, illustrators, visual effects artists, practical makeup artists, all of these guys, all of these people who make all of this work within the genre need help, and we all do. And this is what GainesCon is all about. GainesCon is to fulfill this space, to provide people a space to come in to watch great work on the big screen, to also mingle with like-minded individuals who want to forward their career, forward their talent, build what they have, or even find out whether or not they like a particular sector within the industry. And also give you business advice that all because you have a talent, all because you can do something really well, we all know, doesn't mean that you know how to go about making money with it. And when you do get some money with it, what do you do with the money? These are classes we're going to give to, business classes as well. Because all because you're making money doesn't mean you know what to do with it. So this is what GainesCon is going to provide. See, this film festival is going to be something very different, and it's going to be fantastic. And it's not just an annual film festival that you got to be concerned with. You know, if you can't wait, we're going to have expos during the year to lead up to the film festival. But right now, we're trying to raise money for our first festival. You can say it's an expo, our launch, as being a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. This is going to be our first one. Now, I have done two other ones, two GainesCon before I became a nonprofit. And there were smaller ones. There was one in Florida and there was one last year in Las Vegas. And now next year, we want to make this bigger. We want to make this better. We want to make a footprint in this genre, in this industry, to tell people, hey, listen, we're here and we're not going anywhere and we're going to make a change. And one of the big things I love about us is about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. That is major with everything that we do. Understand that. We are in one planet, one world with different people, and we all learn from each other. And you're stronger when you're together. You're stronger when you learn from each other. And with GainesCon, that is paramount part of our culture, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Specifically, those three. That's right. That is what we're all about too. So don't come in here thinking there's only one way, one road, one type. No. We are definitely going to make it our cause, which is part of our cause, but we're going to make that very important to every road that we take, every step that we take. That's going to be in mind, because we want everyone to be involved. We want everyone to be inclusive. We want to represent everybody. That is what GainesCon is all about. And this is why we need your support today and moving forward to start this new event. So the first event we're going to start is going to be next June. That's going to be the Expo. It's going to be called simply GainesCon Expo, June. And that's going to be a 3-day event. And then in December of 2024, that is when we're going to have the film festival. Not sure what day yet, but right now we are aiming to go for June of next year, with GainesCon Expo. That is going to include classes with industry professionals from various sectors within the industry, as well as vendors of local businesses in Las Vegas. It's going to take place in Las Vegas. I'm not sure exactly where. That is why we need your support, because it all depends on what we have and what we get. And we're going to start fundraising more too. We're going to have different avenues for you guys to contribute however you can. If you still want to contribute now, you can. You can get a hold of me. You can go and just scan that QR code and go ahead and donate a list of programs and sectors that we need funding for. You can pick the one you want. And from there, you will be credited for it. And when you want to know more about it and need more information, you come talk to me personally, okay? Since I'm the chairman and CEO, this is my company. I'm gonna, you come to me any questions at all. So I'm not hard to find. You go right there. You can get a hold of me on Facebook. You can get a hold of me on our website, which is right there, GainesConMediaInc.org, and you can just email me directly. If you want to go to Instagram, you can get me there. If you want to go to Threads, you can get me there. So you have any questions, you come to me personally, and I'll answer whatever you need. Because you know what, my main concern is to get this up and going, to be the biggest and the baddest out there, where we can actually just provide career opportunities for so many people. That is how we are going to rate ourselves. Not just about how pretty things look and everything and how many celebs we can get in and all that. No, it's about how many people's careers start right there. How many people can we help? How many people can we inspire? And that's what we want to do. And this starts off with programs that's going to be set in underserved communities in Las Vegas, programs in places where people can get the education from the young to old on particular sectors of their interest. Now, like I said, this is for filmmakers, but it's also for other artists within the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre. So as I mentioned before, if you are a comic book writer, you're a visual effects artist, you're a practical effects artist, makeup artist, you're a stunt woman, stunt man. If you are wanting to be a stunt driver, if you're a first responder that wants to be into movies and be a consultant for movies, this is the place for you. We will give you guidance to that. So it's going to be a lot of things. And like I said before, those programs to assist people when it comes to filmmaking and just this learning the industry business wise, these are the programs we will be providing. Because not everyone has money, of course, to go to film school. Not everyone has money to get a camera, and most importantly, not everybody has support, personal support. And this is one, and just for that, this is why one of our programs is going to include classes as for mental health. We're going to give you directions on how to get assistance with mental health. We are going to have classes when it comes down to physical health. Because understand, when it comes to these types of films, weigh on your body with everything that these films require physically and mentally. We're not just sitting down talking at a bar or something like that. I mean, these films require you to be physically fit as much as you possibly can, while still try to enunciate words, and then, you have to be on these crazy diets sometimes. But not just that, just to be around so much equipment that you normally won't be in other type of films, like, maybe fire or, hanging from a helicopter, or just having explosions coming around you, or having heavy equipment around just to kind of to formulate a beautiful sequence. So these things are going to be taught. These things are going to be, these classes are going to be given from industry professionals. And like I said before, this is for you guys. This is a space for you. If you just love having a good time, you love these kinds of films, and you're a filmmaker who just loves making these things and just want to be able to showcase your work, then this is the place. Because a lot of places, I mean, there's a lot of film festivals just don't take indie action films or indie sci-fi films or indie horror or indie fantasy. They just, they just don't. And it's nothing bad. It's not like it's bad, but it's not what they do. And the industry is built on more or less the other genres besides this one. And we need a place where we can provide this space, and GainesCon is going to provide and contribute to that space. And it's going to be great. And we're going to educate just not the people who want to be filmmakers, not just the people who are creators, but people who attend just because they're curious. People who just love being around and seeing great, exciting films, great comic books, great visual effects, are into fitness, if you're just into that and you just want to come for that, that is what GainesCon is going to bring. That's the whole plan. This is what we are building, and this is why we need you to start with us from the ground up, to be there with us, to just provide us some assistance. Anything you can give would just help us so much, because we just started now, right? We're not even a month into being registered, but we already have a lot of things planned and a lot of things on its way. And right now, our goal is for next year, June, to start off with a big splash, with a big expo, with your help. We want to bring people from all around the country, hell, from all around the world, to come by to help each other. Just for everyone to be just a big congregation, of a support, of just education, and just support, man. Just plain good, strong support, and that's what we give. That is what GainesCon will give you. So, if you have any questions out there, guys, like I said, just get a hold of me. You're going to see more of me. We're going to start really pushing for fundraising right now. As I said, like I mentioned in the beginning, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we have started and to start something new. And we just need you to be around. We need you to help us out. And for all of us to start this new event, this new movement from the ground up, yes, this is yours. I'm making this for you. So let's get this going. Like I said, any questions, you come speak to me personally. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of me. Like I said, either in Facebook or Instagram, Threads. Hey, you're there. Or go to my website, which is right there, right below me, GainesConMediaIncorporated.org. So thank you all. And I hope to see you guys next year in the Expo and in the film festival. And let's get your action on board. Right. Love you guys. I'll speak to you later. Peace.